Belgian rally of the brand new WRC Escort kit car. Snires has done a lot of testing to set the new car up before the rally and is on the pace right from the word go. The first 4 stages fall to him with fastest times. Returning to the Belgian scene is Bernard Munster. He broke his pelvis in 2 places in an accident in Spa, but with the Renault Maxi Megane on form, he's flying as well. 3rd quickest after the opening 4 stages. This is the first event in an Escort for the Dutch champion, Hans Stacey. He's taking his time to settle down. Group N leader is the Mitsubishi of Kurt Hectors, going faster with every stage, but top speed eluding him. Turning into perhaps a championship rival for the whole season is Christian van Woltzel. He's 2nd in the standard class. But Subaru driver Rocco Teunissen runs into problems and retires after only 5 stages. No such problems for the leader, Patrick Snires, conversing with the mechanics as they work on the brakes at the front of the car, confirming that they are working through a test schedule with the new Escort WRC machine that they're using this year. A lot to learn, particularly about braking, changing the pads here to try and allow him to brake a little bit later. Very confident though with the setup of the car after the testing they've done so far. And hoping to pick up even more pace, which will be a big worry for his competitors as the season goes along. Well, his competitors aren't doing themselves any favours either. The Maxi Megane is slightly less maxi than previously. Bernard Munster has been off in quite a big way and the Renault mechanics hard at work.
Bernard, na het ongeval in Spa, hoe is het met je gezondheid?
So questions about Bernard's physical condition. Don't forget he had that big accident at Spa and broke his pelvis in 2 places. That's okay, he says now, but getting in and out of the car is a bit of a problem.
Ik moet zeggen, ik heb er niet zoveel last van.
And regarding this most recent accident, well, they took a hairpin a little bit too quickly, slid out and hit rocks on the side of the track. But it's merely superficial damage. They can change the bodywork and the suspension on this car to make sure that when they go into day 2, the 2nd day of the rally, the Maxi Megane should be back on all cylinders and firing against the leaders.
Er is veel blikschade, maar niks vitaals is geraakt. Mechanics zijn nu alles aan het rechttrekken en
nothing important broken, he's saying, and the mechanics have got everything in hand, so no problems. Well, as so often in the Ardennes forests, a damp morning to start day 2, and the RED WRC Escort of Patrick Snires blasts into stage 1. Having set fastest time on all of the previous day's stages, his advantage at the beginning of day 2, 1 minute and 26 seconds. The car looking superb and clearly running superbly as well. Snires so experienced and so quick on these Belgian Championship events, 5 to 10 seconds quicker than anybody else. 2nd overall is Bert de Jong, one of the older Escort Cosworths, and he just can't cut it against 9 times champion Snires. Bernard Munster's 3rd and the Maxi Megane looking back to its old form, but when the rain starts to fall later in the morning, he loses time with a poor setup. After 2 stages on day 2, he drops out of 3rd position. Moving up at his expense is Laurent Verheerstraete. With his 4-wheel drive against the 2-wheel drive of the Maxi Megane, he picks up the pace when the weather turns nasty, and a bit of a power disadvantage is overweighed by his 4-wheel drive. Christian van Woltzel, 5th overall in his Group N Mitsubishi. Hector's not able to catch him on this very tight and tricky rally. This is Pierre Demoulin, another of the older style Escorts, 6th overall before mechanical problems put him out of the event. And the Gremlin struck Kurt Hectors as well, losing 10 minutes with a drive shaft problem. He lost 2nd place in the standard class. Hans Stacey going better and better in the Escort as the weather deteriorated, and the first loop of day 2 consistently in the top 3 times, moving back up from 8th to 5th. To give you an idea of how tight and twisty these Belgian stages are, let's ride with Hans Stacey and co-driver Mark van den Brandt through the village and then out onto one of the quicker sections. Also in the top 10 now, Frederic Delplace in his Group N Subaru. But the crowd are waiting for their local hero, Patrick Snijers, and here he comes. But Snijers too running into mechanical problems. The anti-lag electronic system that makes the cars pop and bang away as the driver gets off the throttle works perfectly, but when it's switched off, the car lapses onto 3 cylinders. Snijers running for his 10th victory, sidelined by an unfortunate mechanical problem in the new car. So Snijers almost unbelievably out of the event. He said after we stopped one of the stages there was a problem, running only on 3 cylinders. Unfortunately that's beyond the range of the mechanics within the servicing regulations, so we had to withdraw from the event. And that leaves the older car of Bert de Jong firmly in the lead. The Dutch Championship challenger, this is the first round of the Dutch as well as the second round of the Belgian series, will take maximum points here in the FINA Escort. And with that four-wheel drive turbo machine, he's pulling further and further away from Bernard Munster. Munster with only front-wheel drive, as you can see, the car's scrabbling for grip on the wet roads, despite the hand-cut slick tyres, dropping away down into 3rd position. And there's no way that he's going to be able to challenge for anything better. On dry tarmac, the Maxi Megane a superb racer, but as soon as the conditions turn treacherous, it's really losing time every moment it turns a wheel. Laurent Verhoeven has been chasing all the way through the field, but a slow start really put pay to any chance of victory for him. And in Group N, 5th overall now for Christian van Veunsel, a superb run in the Mitsubishi. 4th for Hans Stacey, picking up fastest times now on some of the stages, having sorted out the car to his liking. Like Bert de Jong, he's also chasing Dutch Championship points. Back in 15th, Kurt Hector's still running after that drive shaft problem. The car repaired by Guy Koelsel's very experienced team. 7th overall, therefore, is Frederic Delplace in the Group N Subaru, an Ypres man. And Dominic Brunel in his old Astra, waiting for his Peugeot 306 kit car to arrive, which should be out on the next event. In the meanwhile, slogging on with the elderly Opel. But from the front, Bert de Jong firmly in control with a 1-minute 30-second lead over Verhoeven. Verhoeven pushing the Sapphire Cosworth as quick as possible, but against the newer car, losing out in terms of handling and critically on these long Belgian straights in terms of power as well. Still 3rd, but in danger perhaps of losing it, is Bernard Munster. Stacey is closing up very strongly indeed. And Munster needing as much effort from a physio as he can every time he struggles out of the car. These rough Belgian stages aren't helping him recover from that accident last year which broke his pelvis. So work still on the Maxi Megane. And chasing him is Stacey. The Escort surprisingly dropping in pace during the course of the second day. He was slow at the beginning and now seems to be slowing down again towards the end.
Ik ben nu een beetje één aan het worden met de auto.
To the interviewer, he's getting used to the car now and hoping to pick up a bit more pace, a little bit at a loss perhaps to explain what's going on at the moment.
Ik zal kijken wat ik vanavond ga doen.
Zit die 3e plaats er nog in?
3rd place at the moment.
Als het zou moeten wel.
For the Dutch Championship, 3rd or 4th overall of this event won't make any difference. He says we are the second Dutch team and we're probably likely to stay that way as well.
Dus ik zal zien.
Christian van Veunsel, 5th overall, 1st in Group N, and he'll also be leading the championship, Belgian and Dutch championships in the Group N class at the end of this event. Frederic Delplace, 2nd in Group N in his Subaru, there he is. A learning year for him. No such learning for Bert de Jong, a very experienced driver. Going into the final 3 stages, everything is under control, or at least that's the way it seems. But in rallying, as in all other kinds of motorsport, who can tell what's around the next corner? Well, for Laurent Verhoeven, 1 minute 19 seconds is the deficit. And perhaps with a little more rain and certainly with a little more power for his elderly Sapphire Cosworth, he thinks he could perhaps have won this event. But as de Jong cruises imperiously on, Bernard Munster is the man under pressure. The Renault driver with Stacey right behind in third position as he starts the final 3 stages. But during the darkness, he's overhauled and drops down to 4th. Given his physical condition, though, he's more than happy with that. And for Hans Stacey, some sort of a drive back up through the field, from 10th to finish 3rd. And on the next time out, the competition will certainly have to look to him right from the start. So the crowd gathering to celebrate the winners. Bert de Jong taking victory in this second round of the Belgian Championship and also, of course, the first round of the Dutch Open Championship. There's the result from the Circuit des Ardennes.